Welcome to Mind Your Set Mondays. I'm on the road right now, so I do not have full access to my regular setup. I'm going to try to make this one a little short and sweet. Um, so today we're talking about tactic versus skills. Well, what's the difference between a tactic and a skill? Well, a skill is your physical ability to do whatever you need to do. So fighting, speaking languages, uh, any of that kind of stuff is a skill. Where a tactic is your strategy, how you position yourself or how you don't position yourself so you don't become a victim. So, what I mean is that you could be a black belt in 100 different styles, but if the criminal walks up behind me with a gun to the back of my head and shoots me, then my skills weren't even in play, so I had nothing to, I wasn't able to use my skills. Their tactic was better than my skills. So what I have to do is I have to put myself in a situation where I can I put myself in a tactical situation where I can use my tactics that will give me an opportunity to use my skills. All right, so I hope you guys understand the difference is that skills are important. Don't get me wrong. Knowing how to fight is important. But your tactics are more important than your skills, because if you don't even get a chance to use your skills because the criminal's tactic is better than yours, then your skills don't mean nothing. So what you have to do is you have to have a tactic that makes it better for you and makes it harder for the criminal. So the criminal has to change their tactic because your tactic is good enough to gives you the time to use your skill. Okay, so I hope you guys understand the difference because it's very important. So another example would be, say the criminal points a gun at me and he's within arm's reach of me, and he says, "You know what? Give me your money." And if my goal is to use my skills to either take away the gun or take the person to the ground or whatever the case may be, I can't just make a reach for the gun, or if I have a gun myself, I can't just reach for my gun. A gun that's already pointed at you is going to be faster than you drawing a gun. Okay? Action is always faster than reaction. So that person already has the gun pointed at me. All they have to do is squeeze the trigger. Me, I have to lift my shirt, grab my gun, point it at them, and there's no way I'm going to be able to do that faster than the gun that's already pointed at me, and all he has to do is squeeze the trigger. I don't care how good you are, you're not faster than a gun that's already drawn. Okay? So you have to create a distraction or some kind of disguise or something to hide the motion of what you're going to do. So if you're going to reach for a firearm, start talking to the person, get them thinking about other things other than squeezing the trigger. Let me get my wallet. My wallet's in my back pocket, yada, yada, yada. And, just talk to them, distract them. Or you can take your wallet out. You could throw your wallet at him. I don't mean like baseball pitch. I mean like just toss it to him. Human instinct is to try to catch it. So he will flinch to either try to catch it or to get out of the way of it. And you should be getting off of the threat zone, which is where the gun's pointed at. And you could either do that by moving your body, or you can hang on to grab the gun from them and move it out of the way, redirect the direction of the firearm. Then you could do whatever attacks you wanted to do. But you just don't grab the gun without redirecting either the firearm or yourself. Okay, so you have to have a tactic or a strategy. Don't just go willy-nilly and say, okay, I'm gonna just try to punch the guy in the face when the gun's pointed right at you. You have to get that gun out of the line of fire first before you can do any of that kind of stuff. All right, so you have to have a tactic or a strategy that gives you time so you're able to engage your skills. All right, so what we want to do is we want to put ourselves in situations where the criminals don't even want to mess with us because our tactic is so good that they don't want to waste their time with us. They don't want to have to, how would I say this? For every one person that has a good tactic, there's 1,000 people that don't. So a criminal does not have to waste their time with us because there's enough people out there that they could get that are easy targets. So like we talked about last time about making yourself a hard target, is they don't want to deal with hard targets. They want to deal with easy, soft targets. So if you think like a criminal and you understand what vulnerabilities you have at that time, then you know that you're in a vulnerable state, so there's a possibility that a criminal would take advantage of that. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't put ourselves in vulnerable states, or if we do, that we're aware of that vulnerable state. Okay, a good example is if you're putting groceries in your vehicle, you can put the shopping cart between you and so you could have your car, then you, and then your shopping cart. So you have that shopping cart between you and your vehicle. If there's more than one person, you could have one person loading the vehicle with the groceries while the other person standing watch. Criminals will not mess with you as easy. Not saying they won't, but not as easy, because there's going to be 2 or 3 cars down the way. There's more than likely a woman who's putting her kid in the car, not paying attention to stuff, and they're either stealing her purse or getting in the vehicle where she doesn't see them, or whatever terrible thing might happen, because her tactic was not very sound. So you want to have a sound tactic. Make yourself a hard target by understanding how criminals think, and they always look at vulnerable situations. So a good rule of thumb is, now this is my rule of thumb that I've came up with, and I've been using it for years and years and years, and my students seem to like it, and it works for them and it works for me. It simplifies everything. Ask yourself this one question when you're doing something or before you do it. Ask yourself, if you are a criminal, would you rob yourself right now, or would you attack you in that current position? And if you answer yes to that, then you need to change up the tactic on whatever you're doing. Okay, it's that simple. So if you find yourself vulnerable and you think that you would attack yourself in your current vulnerable position, then guess what? Most criminals are going to think the same way. So you need to change up the way you're doing whatever you're doing and make it to where you're not so vulnerable. Okay, so tactic beats skill every time, because if their tactic is so good, you're not going to have time to use your skills. So you need to have a tactic that allows you to be able to use your skills, or you need to have a tactic that's so good it's better than their tactic that they're going to let you walk on by and they're going to go after someone else. All right, so I hope that helps. I want you guys, if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification buttons. This one's not going to be edited. Like I said, I'm on the road, so I apologize for the noise and all that kind of stuff. Remember, only you can unleash your inner badass.